In or Out podcast. This is your host Muni, and today we are going to talk about introversion and extroversion. So just to give you a short introduction, the traits of extroversion, also spelled extroversion, and introversion are a central dimension in some human personality theories. The terms were introduced into psychology by Carl Jung, although both the popular understanding and current psychological usage vary. Extroversion tends to be manifested in outgoing, talkative, energetic behavior, whereas introversion is manifested in more reflective and reserved behavior. Jung defined introversion as an attitude type characterized by orientation in life through subjective psychic contents, and extroversion as an attitude type characterized by concentration of interest on the external object. Extroversion and introversion are typically viewed as a single continuum, so to be high in one necessitates to be low in the other. But Jung provides a different perspective and suggests that everyone has both an extroverted side and an introverted side, with one being more dominant than the other. Virtually all comprehensive models of personality include these concepts in various forms. Examples include the Big Five model, Jung's analytical psychology, Hans Kelsen's three-factor model, Raymond Cattell's 16 personality factors, the Minnesota multiphasic personality inventory, and the Myers-Briggs type indicator. All of these tests have skyrocketed in popularity in recent years, with especially young people having a lot of experiences, questions, and interests regarding these issues. However, today we are not going to have an academic debate, but rather an open discussion where our guests will share their personal beliefs, emotions, and stories. So the only takeaway you need to remember from all this babbling of mine is that these two personality types are often seen as opposites. Introverts focus inward into their own thoughts, and extroverts focus outward into the world. So for each of our main topics today, there will be three of them. I will ask our lovely and lively audience to tell us how you feel about it. If you are introverted, I will ask you to snap your fingers. If you feel more on the extroverted side, then tap on your knees excitedly. So, to get straight to the first topic, it is about how to start a conversation. So we are going to have a scenario, but before that, how do you feel about it? Are you more introverted? Do you have difficulties? Or are you an easygoing person who likes to start? Very interesting. Mixed? Very mixed. Nice, interesting. So our scenario will be the following. You will be entering a place where people are already talking. You don't know anyone personally, so what do you do in that situation? And our first guest today will be Duru. So Duru, how do you feel about the topic, and what would you do in this scenario?
Oh, I'm actually quite shy about it, like going new places and meeting someone. Oh my god, it's so stressful for me because I don't know if they are wanting to talk with me or if they're gonna like me. I always think what to ask. Sometimes I just say, hey, how are you? And then your favorite band, like it's weird because I don't know how to start it. I don't know this person, so it's quite introvert for me, this topic. But I get used to it. Like if I have friends with me, maybe it'll be more easier to chat, or if I can buy some drink and order some food for the person, it'll be more comfortable because I feel more safe when I'm eating. And that's the solution I found for meeting new people or chatting with new people, and this is nice. I'm trying to get used to it, but it's a lot of effort, and sometimes people make me feel weird, like, what are you doing here? I don't want to talk to you. And in those moments, I just run away. Yeah, that's the solution for them. Yeah, it's like that for me.
I think it's definitely a difficult situation, so thank you so much for sharing your experiences. So Krishna, how about you? Would you have the same approach, or would it be more easygoing for you?
Yeah, actually for me it's pretty different from Drew, because I always, when I was child, I was just going to some people's to, hey, I'm Bishra, and can we meet and can we play with the toys? I was always so feeling so comfortable with that. And after that, when I grew up, I just began to share my smile for people, and it was easy to connect because when you just smile, people's coming to speak sometimes. So sometimes it's just being easy to make a conversation with them. Especially if I don't know anybody in a place, I am seeing what they are doing exactly. For example, if they're painting, I am also painting, and there is a connection, and we can begin to talk about it, what they did, what they are doing in their life, because I am finding some connections, and it's making it easy.
How interesting. Very different approaches, so I think that we can all take away something from this. The next subject, which will be social media. Before doing my very quick introduction, I would like to ask you how you feel about it. If you are more introverted, you don't post that much, you don't like it that much.
Well, I didn't understand what you said.
Of course, about social media, if you are more introverted, you don't post that much, you don't like it that much, you don't like to be in pictures, then you can just be snapping your fingers. Whereas if you like it a lot, maybe you're an influencer, maybe you like to post 5 times a day, or you just enjoy in general social media, then again more to it. But I think what I noticed is we have actually a bit more introverted people here. This is very much a topic about introspection versus being seen by others. Because of this, I will again start with Francesco. What is your take on this subject?
I think there are so many points that make me think that I don't like so much being on social media, even though I have an Instagram profile, not a TikTok one yet. But I mean, there are so many things that I like about social media. The first one, and most important to me, is that they make you think every time that you are in the wrong place at that moment in your life. Because maybe you are home studying for an exam, you are stuck there, you watch on Instagram stories and you see people going to the beach, being couples and romantic stories, or people with friends and going on clubs and so on, exploring New York and almost sharing the most beautiful moments of their day, or pretending them to be like that. So you have always a misperception of their lives, and you tend to compare. They push you to compare your lives with the others, and you feel like always low. So if your self-esteem is not that good, but even though it's quite good, I think you will end up after a session of scrolling the feed of your Instagram, you will end up with a lower self-esteem. Okay, so for this reason, I would suggest maybe not to use them so much, because they push you to be always in competition with the others, and it's like on Instagram there is written like this: you don't have to be here in this moment, you have to be somewhere else. And this is very bad, because they steal you the most important thing you have in your life, that's the present. They make you think of the past, they make you think of the future, this is the present, and that's fucking bad for me. So this is my point.
Very interesting thoughts, and I think that we can actually all relate to that. And in the past years we heard a lot about the negative effects of social media, but maybe to also have another voice, I would now like to turn to Christelle, who is actually a social worker, and she works a lot with people with disabilities. So Christelle, what do you think about this topic? Can social media also have maybe a positive impact?
Yeah, I think it depends of the use of this media, because like you say, there is a lot of bad effect or bad impact, but I think we can put the good things of this social media, because I work with persons who can't speak, or people who can't hear, so they are mute or deaf, and when I was with this person, I can translate, so they can speak or they can interact with other person. But when they are alone, because I can't be with them every time in the day, they are alone. So, but in the social media, they can speak, because they write on the computer, so they can exchange with other guys, with their friend, because they write on the social media, and they can share something they do alone. I'm not with us, but they can do a lot of things, and they share a photo, so they can have contact with their friend because of this social media. So do not have social media is not good for this kind of people. But I agree with you. We have to think how we use it, and I think it can be a really good way to have a connection with a lot of people. I have my neighbor. They have a dog and they have a lot of friends, but they can't go outside because she's afraid of the people. But and with Facebook and a lot of other media, they can share his happiness things during the day to his friend, and they got a lot of like or something like that, and she feels more happier than when she doesn't can share these things to other people. So yeah, there is bad effect, but there is good effect too. So you have to take in mind, I think.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your contribution, and actually at this point I would like to thank all of our guests for coming, and I would also like to say a big thank you to the audience who were very active today, and thanks for listening to the first episode of the In or Out podcast. Follow us on YouTube, on TikTok, on Spotify, on Facebook, on Instagram, and every possible social media.